His trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Partly cloudy, 86 degrees at 3:02. I'm Laura Oakes. This week's cyber attack on several community water systems appears to have been much more involved than originally thought. State officials say more than 30 systems were targeted. We'll be hearing from leaders from Minnesota IT Services a bit later this afternoon. The state continues to work with local, tribal, and federal officials to investigate the attacks, which officials say has not impacted residents' drinking water. Minneapolis leaders touting another step in tackling the city's housing shortage.
The Minneapolis Public Housing Authority and city leaders are celebrating the grand opening of a new multiplex in the Wyndham neighborhood. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry says the project successfully converted underutilized space into a modern multifamily home ahead of schedule.
You allow us to do something beautiful like this, shift over a home that is in desperate need of repair, and simultaneously house not just one family, but in this case, 3.
He says now the city plans to review and approve more designs for additional multiplexes elsewhere in the city to help fill a backlog of 3,500 families still waiting for affordable housing throughout the city. In South Minneapolis, I'm Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz signs an executive order preventing state employees from using non-public or confidential information for insider trading on prediction markets. The move follows a federal judge's ruling that blocks a new state law set to take effect August 1st that would have banned prediction markets like Polymarket and Kalshi. The platforms allow people to place wagers on the outcome of future events like elections, world affairs, and sporting events. Minnesota truckers navigating a severe cash flow squeeze as diesel crosses the $5 a gallon mark. President of the Minnesota Trucking Association, John Hoffman, says smaller independent operators are struggling most.
It is really a cash flow issue because typically a trucking company will pay for the fuel sooner than they get paid by the customer. So managing cash flow is one of the biggest challenges we have.
Plenty of Vikings news today as the team heads into their first full day of training camp.
First, the team suspended assistant coach Gerald Alexander 3 weeks without pay following an April arrest for drunken driving. Head coach Kevin O'Connell.
Disappointment is the word. As coaches, the expectations and the standards we have are clear, and it's important that we do those things for our players and be the examples on and off the field.
Better news is that the team signed offensive tackle Brian O'Neill to a 4-year extension.
He's been such a pillar of this organization and just the leadership as a guy that from day one when I arrived here, he's been somebody that, he's poured in everything.
And the cherry on top is the signing of 3-time Pro Bowl linebacker Jamal Adams to a 1-year contract. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
And the Vikings will also induct Adrian Peterson into their Ring of Honor November 9th against Buffalo. WCCO News Time is 3:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Highway 65 northbound in Spring Lake Park has a crash between 81st and 85th Avenue Northeast. Cars are still in the road. The ambulance is on scene. It's down to one lane around the accident. They're kind of having to make a move around that one onto the shoulder. 494 westbound in Bloomington is fighting through a crash between Highway 169 and Washington Avenue, which is on the shoulder under the bridge there, so be on the lookout for that one. Over on the crosstown westbound in Minneapolis, 2 cars on the shoulder between Highway 77 and Bloomington Avenue. That's slowing things over there. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Staples. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
A quiet night tonight. The elevated smoke from those wildfires out west will make the nearly full moon look pretty cool. 72 the overnight low. Partly cloudy tomorrow. A few isolated showers are possible with a high of 93. Our better chance of rain comes late Thursday night into Friday.
Partly cloudy right now, 86 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Not just something to listen to, it's how you stay plugged into what's happening in the world. News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRusha.
I've never voted in a primary. I bet many of you have never voted either. This is a safe space to confess because it feels like the news cycle is all crazy about the primary. You got Angie Craig fighting with Peggy Flanagan. You've got My Pillow guy who's maybe going to be the Republican nominee. You've got the former sideline, and most of us are like, primary? Is this for me? 651-461-9226. Have you voted? Are you voting? I am going to vote in the primary. I don't know which primary I'm going to vote in. I know this is going to absolutely destroy those of you who think I'm either a far left socialist or a far right Trump-loving MAGA. I don't know which one to vote in. And that's part of the problem. It's part of the reason I don't participate in primaries because it feels like it's not for me. It's not for me. And I think that's a major problem. It's a major problem. We have a system set up to reward the hardest core, the most extreme political obsessed. And then we look at the candidates we get, and you're like, well, why do we have such bad candidates? I've never voted in a primary. It just doesn't feel for me. I've never gone to a caucus. Now, bear in mind that my first 19 years in Minnesota, I was a journalist. And so signing up and locking myself down with a political party just didn't make a lot of sense to me. And even in this job, it still felt a little uncomfortable. Gene in Maplewood is on the CCO talk and text line. Gene, you want to yell at me for not taking part in a primary?
Okay. First of all, I understand why you won't go to a caucus because you're a journalist, and I understand that. I agree. I understand. I'm not a journalist. I was a social worker, and I've been to almost, since I started going to caucuses years ago, I haven't missed one. Well, I had to miss one because it was icy weather. I couldn't drive. But anyway, I'm shaming you for not going to primaries. Now, maybe I shouldn't shame you. Maybe you just didn't care for the people, but
I'll take a little bit of shame. I'm a believer in voting and in participation, but there's always been something a little awkward for me as someone who likes to vote for candidates, not for the party. There's something a little uncomfortable about I gotta pick one. I don't want to pick one.
I understand, but see, I'm a Democrat, so I'm going to go to the Democrat, and I'm not going to vote for the lieutenant governor. I'm voting, for I can't think of her name. Anyway, I'm voting
Craig
for Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I think she's winnable against the Republican party. I don't think the lieutenant governor is winnable, and I'm so tired of all the commercials on television, all of them. I'm just like, I turn the mute on.
Yes. And it's nonstop. If you're like on YouTube or YouTube especially. Oh my gosh!
I don't go on YouTube, but everything. I just turn the mute on. Going, okay, I'm done with that.
I'm mostly mad. I'm like, why aren't they spending money on my show? That's my main concern here, Gene. Like, if they have so much money to burn, how about throwing a little DeRusha and Cook? We could use some of this dough.
Or Gene Anderson, yes.
Yes,
okay.
Gene will place an ad. Why not? Thanks, Gene.
Thank you so much.
Very good. Kurt is in Stacy. Kurt, I've never voted in a primary. I am going to vote in this primary, but I'm still deciding because you sort of want to have an impact on a close race, right? And this time you have a couple potential close races on both sides. What's your view on primary? Kurt, you there?
Are you asking Mark or Kurt?
Are you Mark?
Yes.
Mark, I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Sorry about that. We just
Well, I used to vote in primaries, but no longer because neither of the parties represent the values that I have, and I think that the only way to rise to the top of the primary heap is to be so beholden to a party and a very specific platform and a very narrow group of special interests that you give up your intellectual autonomy. And so there's just no room. I mean, probably the biggest failing of the founding fathers was they did not anticipate the rise of political parties and what that would do to good and well-intentioned candidates.
Isn't that interesting? Because we sort of accept that these candidates are going to run to the right or the left in the primary and then scoot back towards the middle. And it's annoying and it's fraudulent. Like, who are you? What are you? Like, what? I don't know. I was thinking today, like, is there a better way to do this? Because you do need to narrow down the field, but this way, for me, is very unsatisfying.
Well, I mean, if we could finally find a way to get third parties that would be viable in this country, maybe we'd have a better chance at things. Because then you'd be able to wash out the wackos and celebrate the century.
Yeah. Mark, thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry for misnaming you there. 651-461-9226.
Does it help you to know that you don't have to publicly declare which party's primary you're voting in? When you go to the ballot box, when you go to the polling place, they hand you a ballot. And on one side is the Democratic primary elections, and on the other side is the Republican. And they tell you can only fill out one side. You can't fill out, if you fill out both sides, it's a spoiled ballot, and you're not going to count for anything.
But don't the parties get that information, like who voted for?
Only in the presidential primary.
Oh, I didn't.
Only in the presidential primary. Because there's nothing on your ballot. When they hand you that ballot, there's nothing on that ballot that identifies who you are. So
could you get one ballot that has both?
One on each side. One party on each side.
That helps.
You go feed it into the machine. There's nothing in that identifies who you are.
So no one will be able to someday say, DeRussia's a Republican. I knew it.
Not on this, unless if you vote in the presidential primary, then that's a different story. Then you do have to declare.
Declare.
But not in a state primary, you don't.
Interesting.
No.
651-461-9226. That does help me. I fully intend on voting in the primary this time. It is part of the reality that I have a talk show. I tell you guys how I feel about issues. I don't typically say which candidates I support. I don't know. That's not, I feel like there's no real point to that. I think in a lot of these things you could sort of guess, but mostly I vote for people over their politics.
People are going to assume regardless of what you say or
so
don't
it doesn't
say.
Really
So
matter.
it doesn't really matter. What do you think of people that are talking about voting
like
strategically?
The spoiler vote to
spoiler
go mess
vote?
with.
Yeah.
So I believe it's a tiny number of people who are that bizarro to go do that. And I think if you are, say, going into the Republican primary to intentionally vote for Adam Schwarzy over Michelle Tafoya to give the Democrats a better chance, I mean, I guess don't hate the player, hate the game. But also, I do hate the player a little bit.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is not what voting is supposed to be about. Not really for me. Looking at these two parties, though, if you are a moderate, if you don't think of yourself as a Republican or a Democrat, which primary intrigues you most? We're 2 weeks away. If you really care, you've probably already voted. Early voting is so common now. For me, like weighing in on the Republican governor's primary would be of interest to me. Weighing in on the DFL Senate. Boy, you get the sense that that's going to be a tight race. If you want to have an impact, voting on that sort of makes sense. Let's go to Jeff in the East Metro at 651-461-9226. I've never voted in a primary, Jeff. What say you?
I like your show, Jason. I always vote in a primary because in a primary, your vote has more weight
than it does in a general election because there's fewer number of voters. And I always vote because I've seen several local elections where there's even a smaller number of voters where your vote actually determined the outcome on close votes. The other thing I'd add is if you're not satisfied with the candidates to choose from, I think America needs to step back and look at the process. It's such a grueling process on the families and the candidates. You're only largely going to attract, for the most part, people who cannot find work elsewhere. It's such a bad job to run for office now because of the process.
You are right about when you think about your relative impact on the vote. So I'm just looking at the historical turnout and the number of voters for Minnesota state primaries. So, certain years, like there's more interest, and you can tell like 2018, 2022, but like, 2024 last time around was just 12%. I don't think there was anything too huge on the ballot. But 2022, it was 19%. 2014, it was 10%, 15%. So you're talking about between 500 and 600,000 total votes across the whole state. And the number of eligible voters is about 4.2 million. So your relative impact is for sure there in the primary. Jeff, thank you. Appreciate it. Lots of texts coming in. I mean, do you guys think I should vote in the Republican or the Democratic one? Weigh in on that. 651-461-9226. Drive Time back in just a minute on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
One thing I have learned over the last 3.5, 4 years is that healthy living doesn't have to mean giving up the foods that you love. It's Jason. For Livia, that Livia helped me lose 45 pounds. Maybe more impressively, I kept that weight off since I hit my goal in December of 2022. That's a long run of keeping that weight off. And that's what Livia is all about. Weight loss is the cornerstone. But when I think about losing that weight, the impact on my life has been profound. More energy, of course. My metabolic health is much, much better when I go for my physical. The doctor's like, hey, things are looking good. Simply feeling your best. That may be one of your goals. Whatever it is that you're seeking when it comes to healthy living, Livia has more options than ever before. Starting is simple. Deciding to start is sometimes hard. I want to encourage you to take that leap and go ahead and make that call or visit the website, because Livia is offering a free metabolic health assessment that will help guide their expert team to create the right plan for you. Visit Livia.com, LIVEA.com, or call 855-GO-LIVIA.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices, $399 a month. Sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years, but I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So, stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw and Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Drive Time with DeRusha.
I wish you weren't right, but you are.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Twins Ticket Tuesday, by the way. You don't have to declare a party. You just have to declare that you're caller 3 at 651-461-9226.
Not now.
Not now. Not now. When do they call, Dan?
When they hear the Wind Twin sounder, whenever that may be between now and 6 p.m.
So we're really making the people listen to the whole show?
Yes.
All 3
well,
hours?
at least until I play the
you do
sounder,
it.
whenever I'm going to do that.
Are you going to be a jerk and wait until the very last
Why would
segment?
Why would you imply that that's something jerkish about allowing the people to consume the content that you and I work so hard to create every day? Why would it be a jerk to make people listen to it?
It's a fair point. It's a gift, really. We're giving.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. It's free, right? This is free radio.
Last I checked.
We're talking about the primary election. I have never voted in a primary before. Much of that because of my career as a journalist. Also important to note, and I read a social media post from David Brower, who used to be a journalist here in town. Now he's I would describe him as a gadfly. And David pointed out that there really hasn't been a contested DFL primary for Senate since like the 1970s. So the DFL, the last time there was a truly contested DFL primary race was probably Mark Dayton and who was the former state attorney general. They were both running for governor. This was like 20 years ago. This was like right when I got here. Somebody will think that. I can't. This is what happens when you lose the race. I don't remember your name. He was the attorney general of the state, and I don't remember his name. So anyway, if you care that much, go follow Brower on social media, right? That's how that goes. Texters talking about primary ballots, because my theory is, as much as we have been talking about these details and talking about these races and interviewing the candidates, it is summer in Minnesota. It's late July. Most of us are sort of disgusted with both the Republicans and the Democrats. And the idea of going to cast a ballot on one of these sides or the other, I just don't know how into it people are. And this idea that, well, if you don't vote in the primary, it's your fault if we get crappy candidates. And I would say it's not my fault. It's the fault of the way we do this system. I don't want to just vote for the Democrats or the Republicans. I would like to go, here's how I would like to do the primary, and I get it. Like the primary is a state activity, but I wish, or the primary is a party activity.
Yeah, that's the difference.
That the state has to execute.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing actually is a load of crap. If the parties want to have their own way of picking the candidates, why is the state facilitating this whole election? So if the state's going to facilitate it,
did you see the endorsing conventions? You really want more of that? That's what you want?
I do not. But I do think that I would prefer a system sort of like, you know how in California they selected their selected the mayoral candidates for Los Angeles. So all of the candidates were in the mix and just the top 2 moved on. What if for Senate, instead of this primary where you have Republicans what if you could vote and you got to pick Angie Craig or Peggy Flanagan or Michelle Tafoya or Adam Schwarzy, and just put them all in the soup, and then the top 2 move on. And so if the top 2 are both Republicans, so be it. If the top 2 are both Democrats, so be it. Off we go. Like, to me, that would be more appealing than like, I got to pick which one of these, which side of the ballot I got to vote. I don't know. It's not that intriguing to me. And it also feels like you're not really invited to the party. Because if you don't, like, is it fraudulent for me to go vote Democrat? If the reality is I'm probably going to vote for the Republican, yeah, it's sort of fraudulent, right?
Right, but like you said, that's such a minuscule number of people that are likely doing that.
I'm just saying, as someone who doesn't identify with either of the parties, it feels like a weird thing to choose one of those parties and vote in their primary.
Which is probably why so many people don't vote in the primary.
Yeah, and understandably, like, if you're not going to vote, I'd love to hear from you, because obviously I'm telling you that I haven't done it before, so I'm not going to judge you for it. Jason is a pretty hard left-leaning moderate. I'm voting in my second primary this year, and I'll grab a GOP ballot to make sure the crazy pillow guy is on the ballot. That's one texter. Another texter, first time I voted in the primary. I voted this year to vote against some Democratic candidates, Dave from Maple Grove. It seems that all of our texters are the people who are going in and trying to play spoiler on the other side. I'm a Democrat, says a texter. I will vote for the lesser evil and vote on the best candidate on the Republican side. In the general, I'll switch back to the Dems. It's 3 of you. Are you guys really? This is what people are doing? Do you think it matters? If you're in there, you're like, I'm going to nerd out and kind of game the system. Even though there are a small number of people voting, you're still talking about 500, 600,000 people are going to vote. Do you really think your little gamesmanship makes a difference? I don't know. Hey, Jason, I bet you're voting for the pillow guy. I can tell you this. I'm not voting for the pillow guy. Jason, I'm going to vote for the first time in a primary, and I'm going to cross over, and it's exciting. I'm going to vote for Angie Craig. Just so that Flanagan doesn't get in there, says a texter. Just can't be any worse.
I mean, like you said, it's probably not a huge number.
That's not a gamesman. That's more somebody saying, like, I want the best candidates to get in. How about that for nobility?
What
like that, I would like to do that. I would like to get in there and vote and pick for all what I think the best candidates are, so we could have real, robust debate on the issues with really good candidates. And that is Nerdsville 101
right.
to me.
And
that is not home team coverage, which is what people want.
Right. Exactly. It's not going to happen. You know, like to your point about primaries, is the gaming the system bit going to really impact things? Probably not, but you have a better shot at what happening in the primary than you do.
Maybe.
Just because of the lower
I'm
number.
dubious. I'm dubious of it. Let's go to Phil in Woodbury. Phil, are you a primary guy?
Well, you know, I kind of wait till November, but you got to vote for who you trust. I mean, so you know what? They all remember I called before and they all got some kind of background stuff. So, I mean, What do you do, you know?
Yeah, it's tough. Like I look at it and to me, it's, and a texter points out, like, depending on what county you're in Hennepin County, for example, you have a very interesting Hennepin County attorney race. Someone also asked if I'm voting in Ramsey or Hennepin. Because I suppose I could vote in either, since I have a residence in both areas.
Where are you registered?
I am registered in Hennepin. I will vote in Maple Grove, so I will vote Hennepin. But
I'm from Dakota County, so it's like, I don't know. I wish we had people like Humphrey and Anderson and guys like them that were, you know what I'm saying? That was my era back in the day, you know?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it. I'm a conservative in a deep blue area, says a texter. I vote on the Democratic primary because they're going to win the general, but I vote Republican on the general ballot. That sort of makes sense. Now, assuming you go in with like good faith, right, and you're voting for the candidate you think would be better. Jason, I saw Republicans and Democrats on the primary that I received in the mail. How come there was no independent to vote for? Because the Independence Party in Minnesota is not
a major party status.
Right.
There'll be independents to vote for in the general ballot in November. So it's not like it freezes them out.
Right.
But
there's
in
no
November.
primary.
But there's no primary because there's no opposition, essentially.
Texter, stop being unprofessional. His name isn't the pillow guy. Followed by a sexist insult towards Flanagan and Craig. So I guess, like, maybe take that text you sent me, turn the phone around, read it, and then maybe turn that phone around again, put it in the toilet, and flush it because you're disgusting. How about that? 333. We don't need the sexist names on the text line. Don't need it. Ely is open for business. Some news today about the fires up north. Some good news about the BWCA. We're going to talk with a business owner up there who really wants you to continue your camping trips and your summer vacations. We'll do that conversation in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you the goods with the hit of the summer, Guys and Dolls. You got your delicious dinner. You got your great show. Heck, you got free parking. Such a deal. Guys and Dolls, it's hilarious, romantic. Hit tunes like Luck Be a Lady and Sit Down, You're Rockin' the Boat. This is the high-rolling hit musical for the whole family. And it's your lucky day because I'm going to tell you how to score these tickets. Visit chanhassendt.com and you will hit the jackpot.
We wouldn't be celebrating America 250 if it wasn't for a strong foundation set by the framers. Hamilton built America's financial foundation on sound money, later embodied by the gold standard. But we abandoned that discipline in 1971 and have seen inflation erode the dollar's value. What's the foundation of your savings? Is it gold or something that can be devalued? Hi, it's Dr. Ron Paul, and I encourage you to speak with my friends at Birch Gold Group about diversifying an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Learn more by requesting a free info kit on gold IRAs. Just text the word SECURE to the number 989898. Let Birch Gold help you build your foundation with gold. Text the word SECURE to the number 989898. Text SECURE to 989898.
Colonial furniture from the 17th century can be found in museums across our great country.
Those craftsmen knew their stuff.
Our colonial collection brings the warmth, character, and enduring colonial quality.
Built from solid hardwood, this bedroom collection honors the past while blending beautifully with modern sensibilities.
Available in multiple sizes with all the storage pieces your bedroom might need, including velvet-lined hidden storage compartments. We love historic cherry, but the set is also available in solid oak, maple, and quarter sawn oak at Barufka's. A queen low footboard bed is Craftsman Direct priced from $29.45 or $123 a month for 24 months.
Museum quality for mummies and everyone.
Oh, Jim. Barufka's. No gimmicks, haggling, or hard to understand pricing in Woodbury and Burnsville.
Decidedly American.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-284-1238. 800-284-1238. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Traffic is brought to you by Lyuna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. 694 westbound at Brooklyn Center has a crash on the shoulder between Shingle Creek Parkway and 94. The crosstown eastbound is crawling from Highway 169 over to Cedar Avenue. 35E southbound in St. Paul is still stuck at the Grand Avenue Hospital ramp. Be on the lookout for that one. That's slowing things back a little ways. Lyuna, Minnesota reminds you to slow down in construction zones. The members of Lyuna and their contractors are building a better infrastructure for you. So please slow down and pay attention to the road signs when you see orange and yellow. Brought to you by Lyuna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. I'm Darren. That's a look at the roads on WCCO 830.
I love this time of year, and so do your Minnesota.
You hearing us okay?
farmers. Pork, turds,
Yeah, I can.
flavor.
Okay, we got you loud and clear. We'll be right with you here after weather.
Can has recipes galore. Get to the butcher shop and grocery store and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Minnesota Pork Board, taste what pork can do, is bringing us the weather forecast. Feels much nicer today, even though it's still stinking hot. Here is Chris Schaefer.
A quiet night tonight with a partly cloudy sky as we drop back to 72. Still a little muggy. It's going to be warm and borderline humid again tomorrow with a high around 93. For most of us, a partly cloudy sky. There will be a few pop-up showers here and there. Many will stay dry. Thursday, a better chance of rain moving from west to east, should arrive late and spill into Friday.
In Ely, it is 82 degrees. There's a heat advisory in effect scheduled for tomorrow in Ely here on CCO.
Drive time with DeRusha, where the conversation's always in drive. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I mean, it's 89 degrees in Minneapolis. I'm sure maybe a lot of you are concerned about the temperature in Ely right now. Ginny Nelson certainly has been concerned about the weather up there and the reaction to the state. We've had some good news when it comes to the BWCA, an announcement today that the BWCA was going to be open again. I think it's going to be one of those seasons where certain parts will be open, certain parts may have to be closed. You have to be a little more kind of roll with the punches. But Ginny Nelson is joining us from Ely Canoe Trips. At least Ginny was there. I just saw her video drop off. But Ginny, can you hear us? I see her there now. I'm not sure. You know, Ely's a long way away, Dan. Ginny, can you hear me or not? I think maybe not. Maybe not. Let's see. How about now? Still no? All right. Ginny.
Are you not hearing Jason?
Any better? She heard Dan when Dan was talking to her.
Can you hear me, Ginny?
No, I think we're having some phone and some cell signal problems. Why don't we see if you can just text Ginny and we can try it again? But otherwise, she texted and said she can't hear us anymore. They do have the internet in Ely. Ginny is the general manager of a business called Spirit of the Wilderness. And it's a pretty cool business up there where they sort of guide first-time paddlers or seasoned explorers. They've got gear and canoes and all of this, but for a lot of folks, that guided trip is their first experience up there. And so trying to see, like, what I have been hearing from resort owners up there is that, like, it's been a real challenge. Partially because you have these, the images on the news of fires in the BWCA. Let's see if we have Ginny with us on the phone now, manager of the Spirit of the Wilderness Outfitters and Retail Store. Ginny, you got me?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell me, I mean, today when you heard that the state was going to open some entry points to day use and open parts of it to overnight camping, that's got to be a big deal for you guys, right?
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction. Most of that is towards the Gunflint and the Tofty areas. So in the Boundary Waters area for near Ely, there's not much open still. Although Ely itself is open and people can, be in this area outside the Boundary Waters, we're still waiting for some of our entry points to open up a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd like you to talk about that a little bit because I think there is this perception that Ely writ large is, engulfed in smoke.
Oh man, we have had some really great air quality the last week or so. And we have people that are here. It's not as busy as it should be, or normally is, but it's a fantastic time to be around. There's some campgrounds that are open and available for people to come stay at and do day trips. I have a number of groups doing that this week. So they're going to all these little lakes that they just drive right by and don't go experience outside the Boundary Waters. There's lots of stuff to do here in Ely, but Ely itself is open. A number of resorts, hotels, motels, things like that are open. The shops are open. And there's a lot to do outside the Boundary Waters. Just unfortunately not the Boundary Waters so much in this.
Ginny Nelson with us from Spirit of the Wilderness in Ely. It's ElyCanoeTrips.com is the website. So Ginny, your parents started this thing. You have been in business after kind of growing up camping and canoeing up in the Ely area. It's got to be difficult when you see kind of that anticipation is building for the summer. It's go time. This is when you make your living. This is when people really get to celebrate some of the beauty of that part of our state. And then to have those wildfires, which seems to be more of a persistent issue, right?
Yeah, it's, we get prepared all spring. We open right about fishing opener, which for those that don't fish is, early in May, mid-May. And then we were in such a great groove with all of our staff and getting canoes loaded, unloaded, gear cleaned, all sorts of fun stuff, helping customers. And then now we, with the fires, we kind of were at a complete halt. And then now we're just starting to rent a few canoes out to people doing day trips. And it's kind of hard to get back in that groove. We feel like it's spring again, but we've been doing this for 27 years, and there are times when there have been fires in the area, but I would say this is the most major fire season in the middle of the summer. We love when they're later in the fall, when we're already, declining in numbers of people around anyways. That would be a better time for economics of the area, but it's been a dry summer and a hot summer. So, unfortunately, this is the result of lightning strikes that happened.
Do you get the sense that sort of the forest supervisors up there, the government officials that are making the decisions, are they taking into account, obviously safety has to be foremost, but are they taking into account the impact on people like you on the economy of Ely?
Actually, I think they are. And I think it's, I had actually lots of conversations with a number of people in the Forest Service yesterday evening after a citywide meeting about forest, what's happening with the fires and things like that. And they understand the economics of this area and how, it's a short season. It's a summer season mainly. I did talk to the acting forest supervisor last night, and I think he knows the pressure of having the boundary waters closed. Of course, I made sure to let them know one more time because
Right.
you know, a lot of us are really depending on that. But at the same time, the safety of people traveling the area, it needs to be really high on the list because we don't want to go through what we did on the 13th, trying to extract people from the boundary waters, you know, that were a little bit too close to a fire that we didn't even think was a problem. So safety has to be number one.
For sure. For sure. Ginny Nelson is with us from Spirit of the Wilderness, BWCA Outfitters and Outdoor Store in Ely. Ginny, describe, you know, right now, if you walk out your door in Ely, what is the weather like? What is the air like right now?
Well, it's pretty sunny out. It's in the 80s. This morning we had a really foggy morning, so it's cleared up a bit that way. The air quality is nice and clear and clean. At our store, we like to have all our doors open, so we feel like we're sort of outside, and we've been having those open for the last week. So breezes are coming through the store, and it's warm, but not as warm as the 90s, something we had about a week or so ago. So it's pretty pleasant out. People are swimming and fishing, and it's been actually a really nice couple days.
What if people come to Ely? Because obviously, like, I love northern Minnesota, but I don't think it would be a good idea for me to go load in stuff into the boundary waters. Dan Cook here, who is our camper, is like, oh, Jason, you know, a log cabin is maybe about as rustic as DeRusha needs to be. But what now? A texture says Ely has great ice cream. Like, what is the vibe for people if they want to come up and enjoy Ely?
There are so many ways to enjoy Ely, no matter when you're here, whether there is, you know, something like this going on or not. There's lots of resorts in the area that cater to people staying in a cabin, in a bed. There's campgrounds in the area. So if you like to sleep in your RV or a tent, and lots of the campgrounds actually have lots of space open right now because people were unsure about being here, but I think it would be a fantastic time to be here. You have the place, you know, a lot of space to yourself. Normally, then we have a lot of canoe campers and people going in fishing and canoeing and things like that in the boundary waters. So usually we see lots of cars going through town with canoes on them, and we see lots of people, you know, going in all sorts of directions for different kinds of trips. And right now there is in the city park, there's a farmer's market. It's getting set up for the evening. Every Tuesday night, there's a farmer's market. So
cool.
It's got a whole bunch of, you know, vendors there right now. And so there's lots of things to do before your trip, after your trip, instead of your trip.
Right. Really good. Ginny, I hope people will consider a trip and come on up there. I know the resorts and the restaurants and the Spirit of the Wilderness would love to see people from the cities kind of come up and get their chance to enjoy the beauty that is still all over Ely and all over that part of northern Minnesota. We appreciate it. Thanks, Ginny.
Thank you so much. I appreciate talking with y'all.
Pretty cool. Ginny Nelson, family business. You know, this is what makes Minnesota special. So many of our resort towns, and getting up there if you can this last month of summer. August is right around the corner. Drive Time. Back in just a minute to talk about the best ways to deal with frustration and stress.
Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
All right. Before you go to Ely, though, I need you to pack one thing. And that one thing is your sunscreen. It's Jason here from my friends at Tureen Dermatology and my personal dermatologist, Dr. Mohiba Tureen. This is UV Safety Awareness Month, and Tureen Dermatology wants you to understand that protecting your skin from the sun is more than just protecting yourself from a sunburn. UV rays are the leading cause of premature aging, dark spots, and skin cancer. I wear a broad spectrum SPF every single day, rain or shine. One of the most powerful things you can do for your skin's long-term health. If you're in your 20s and your 30s, you should start wearing sunscreen every day. You put on moisturizer, you put on sunscreen. Simple, should be part of your skincare regimen. Guys listening to me, do you have a skincare regimen? Have you heard of this? My skincare regimen used to be soap. You familiar? Soap, also water. That was it. It was a two-step skincare regimen. But Dr. Mohiba Tureen and her team at Tureen Dermatology turned me around, and you're like, oh, I didn't know my skin could feel so soft and look so young. I actually, they scan it now, Dan. I have the skin of a 34-year-old, and I'm 72. Imagine what Tureen Dermatology can do for you. 11 locations all over the Twin Cities and Western Wisconsin. You can get an appointment within 3 weeks. If you've never had a full body skin checkup, or if you have a mark or mole you need to get checked out, do it. Tureen, Tareen, dermatology.com.
Hi, this is Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. We talk a lot about safety and responsibility on the roads, but we also want to listen. What messages do you think are important for us to share? And how are we doing? Please go to our website, hit the big red button, and share your thoughts. MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. I sincerely hope you're not in a collision, but if you are, please reach out to us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Chad back here with you on CCO. I want to talk insurance and the group I have trusted for 30 years. Not just me, my father, my boys. We have been with Amber Scholl and Associates the entire time. They are with American Family, and trust is the right word. When something awful happens with your business or your home or your car, you need people who are available. You need individuals who have a team, and they've handled every situation. Amber and her team have done that. Let's be honest. Insurance rates are complicated. You need someone who knows this business in all ways, and I wouldn't be with Amber for 30 years unless I totally believed in her. Call today, 651-738-4811. And tell me you heard this spot from Chad on CCO.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
494 northbound is a fender bender right at the Carlson Parkway ramp. Be aware of that one. 35W northbound picked up another one at the 5th Avenue entrance ramp. Two cars between the ramp and the road there, so kind of be on the lookout. 252 southbound just picked up a crash between 66th Avenue North and 694. That's right in the same neighborhood as the ongoing trouble on 694 westbound near Shingle Creek Parkway. Things are getting heavy across the metro. Make sure you're planning some extra time as you're headed out the door. That's a look at traffic. I'm Darren Kimmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
One of the hottest SUVs in America, the 3-row Kia Telluride and Telluride Hybrid. Luther Kia of Bloomington has a ton of them with $750 owner loyalty cash. Brand new facility now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, it's hot. It's going to be hot tomorrow. It's going to be hot Thursday. Is it going to be hot forever? Is that what Schaefer's saying? Tonight, 72 is the low. Tomorrow, isolated showers possible, rain possible late on Thursday, 93 tomorrow, 92 Thursday. Friday, it looks like 70.
Some rain on Friday, I think, is part of that. I did see our good old friend Paul Douglas suggest that 90s could be hanging around in some way, shape, or form until September.
Heat dome. We need
El
some,
Nino.
Oh, we need some production, right? Get on that, Cook. You're the producer. Don't look at me. I have to come up with all the damn ideas.
First of all,
here.
that's a complete nonsense that you come up with all the ideas. But you are the one that comes up with the idea in the middle of the show, wondering why we didn't have it ready already.
That's fair. That is fair. Weather brought to you by Luther Kia. Hit the button.
Drive time with DeRusha.
He creates a narrative that is advantageous to him. And frankly, at times it's disturbing.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
It is Twins Ticket Tuesday, by the way, thanks to my buddies at Luther Kia Bloomington. I'll be at Luther Kia tomorrow morning getting my tires replaced on my Stinger. 4 packs of tickets. Don't join me at... Well, I guess you may as well stop it and say hi. 4 packs for Monday, August 10th. Twins and Baltimore Orioles. Caller 3 when we hit the thing. You get the tickets. Dan, this question is maybe better posed to you. Because,
why would you say that?
Well, would you be interested in a scream club?
No.
A cathartic and communal screaming activity.
I think the communal part is where I am out.
The Scream Club meets every week, bringing together a community of up to 300 people who like to scream out over the water, and they're on Lake Michigan, and this picture in The Guardian shows people just screaming, letting it rip. I don't find screaming to be particularly cathartic.
I don't either.
Now, destroying stuff, sounds more appealing to me.
Yeah, what's the bit where you can go in the place with the sledgehammer and bash old cars?
Yeah.
That one. Now we're talking.
Are you a screamer? Actually, that's a different topic for a different type of program. So actually, if you're a screamer, you can email me directly. It's jason@odyssey.com. We don't need you to call in. ContinentalDiamond.com. Time check 3:58. If you've got a screamer in your life, say thank you by buying beautiful jewelry at ContinentalDiamond.com and Continental Diamond at St. Louis Park.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents?
Staples has folders, notebooks, and pens at great prices.
I'm smiling from ear to ear. It's the most wonderful time.
Mom, I missed the bus of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples, where school supplies start at just 25 cents. Staples. That was easy. Visit your local Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
Everyone worth hearing, everything worth knowing. News Talk 830 WCCO. 1029 HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
From ABC News, I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor of Crime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. The late Senator Lindsey Graham remembered today at services that began at the Capitol Rotunda and ended with his funeral service at Washington National Cathedral. Family, fellow lawmakers, and dignitaries honored the 71-year-old who served in both Congress and the military. President Trump delivered the eulogy and says Graham became a fierce ally and patriot.
For more than 30 years, nothing of consequence happened in this Capitol without Lindsey Graham knowing about it. Nothing of significance happened anywhere in the world without Lindsey Graham having a view on it.
Graham was a staunch supporter of Ukraine and Israel. Both leaders attended the funeral today. President Trump met earlier with President Zelensky and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. It was the first meeting with Netanyahu since the start of the war with Iran 5 months ago.
The president had separate meetings with Ukraine's President Zelensky and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, but did not bring in reporters for statements or for questions. We heard from Zelensky after the meeting. He posted a statement on social media. He said it was a good meeting. He said that he and the president talked about the plans for the United States to help Ukraine make their own Patriot air defense systems.
ABC's Karen Travers. Dangerous wildfires have triggered more evacuations in Spain and France. ABC's Marcus Moore is near Madrid.
This is really an unprecedented moment for people here in Spain. Officials saying the Avila fire, which has been burning west of Madrid, is the largest fire ever recorded here in the country. We're talking about more than 135,000 acres have burned at the start of this week.
In the U.S., the National Weather Service says yesterday's tornado in Wisconsin has been upgraded to an EF3. The same storms are targeting the Northeast today, with New Jersey and New York City facing the threat of flash flooding. You're listening to ABC News.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Partly cloudy, 88 degrees at 4:02. I'm Laura Oakes. City leaders across the state have successfully locked down their water networks after a wave of cyber attacks this week. WCCO's Taylor Rivera joins us live in the studio with the latest. Taylor.
Laura, cybersecurity experts with Minnesota IT Services say that hackers successfully cracked into controls of 30 public water systems over the last several days. Minnesota's Chief Information Security Officer, John Israel.
Minnesota entities were impacted today, but not just in Minnesota. We're tracking some impact in surrounding states throughout the nation. This really is related to the ever-present activity that threat actors have, looking for vulnerabilities, looking for holes in systems, and trying to break in.
He says most public works departments have temporarily switched to their manual backups, and health officials have confirmed that water safety and quality were never compromised. State and local teams are now working to find out the source of the attacks. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Thanks, Taylor. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz signing an executive order today preventing state employees from using non-public or confidential information for insider trading on prediction markets. The move follows a federal judge's ruling that blocks a new state law set to take effect August 1st that would have banned prediction markets like Polymarket and Kalshi. With sizable budget shortfalls on both sides of the river, both Minneapolis and St. Paul residents are bracing for likely property tax increases as their mayors and city councils work to finalize their 2027 budgets. In Minneapolis, Councilmember Michael Rainville tells WCCO's Chad Hartman all options, including potential cuts, are on the table.
The budget number should be 4% increase. That's what inflation is. That will help us pay for the health insurance costs. We have 4,000 employees. We should be delaying equipment. We should take a hard look at staffing in all departments. We should be looking at everything we can do to save some money.
Minneapolis is facing a $30 million budget gap. St. Paul's is $26 million. Both cities are grappling with rising costs in everything from healthcare to fuel for city vehicles. The Minnesota Vikings' entire roster is now in place at TCO Performance Center in Eagan as the remainder of the team arrived today. Training camp officially opened yesterday with rookies and select veterans. Head coach Kevin O'Connell says he looks forward to the quarterback competition.
Kyler and JJ will take reps with the first team. They'll also take reps with the second group, and I think that gives different layers to the evaluation as well. We want an elevator at the quarterback position.
Meanwhile, the Vikings' new defensive backs coach is suspended without pay for 3 weeks after a drunk driving arrest in Edina in April. Finally, the Twins start a 3-game series against Kansas City tonight, while the front office looks to make deals before Monday's trade deadline.
Although the Twins need to obtain pitching, they may be looking to trade away catcher Ryan Jeffers, who might try free agency after his contract runs out at the end of the season. Twins general manager Jeremy Zoll says this buy and sell strategy isn't new.
There's not that many teams over the last number of years that have actually executed on that, but certainly spent a lot of time on it. So, everyone's trying to do their best decisions they can, and in a number of cases make the team better. Short-term, obviously long-term considerations as well, and balance all those different factors.
The Twins remain in the middle of the race for a postseason spot, either as AL Central champions or a wild card entry. Al Schock, News Talk 830 WCCO.
In WCCO News Time is 4:05.
Flint Hills Resources Pine Bend Refinery in Rosemont produces important transportation fuels used throughout the Midwest, but they're also active in the community. They support many programs and organizations that make Minnesota better. Go to FHR.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Traffic is brought to you today by Flint Hills Resources. 494 northbound is a fender bender at the Carlson Parkway ramp. 3 cars are off on the shoulder. Police and tow truck are on scene, hopefully getting that one cleared up shortly. 35W North is doing its typical slowdown thing right up to the split for 94. That backup starts at about Chicago Avenue. Highway 169 southbound, just south of 494 is all brake lights, slow and steady through there. 694 is backed up starting at Silver Lake Road all the way over to 94. So that stretch in Brooklyn Center is just on the brakes. So be prepared to add some extra time. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
B&M Tree Services, certified arborists offering tree trimming, storm cleanup, and full tree removal with professional service at prices you can afford. Call 1-800-569-9034 or visit bnmtree.com. Trusted, professional, reliable.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by B&M Tree Service. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
A quiet night tonight. The elevated smoke from those wildfires out west will make the nearly full moon look pretty cool. 72 the overnight low. Partly cloudy tomorrow. A few isolated showers are possible with a high of 93. Our better chance of rain comes late Thursday night into Friday.
Partly cloudy right now, up to 88 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hot topics, cool conversations. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
I don't love prediction markets. I'm nervous about sports gambling. I just don't see the good outweighing the bad on this stuff. That said, I recognize I'm in the minority on this. When you talk to Minnesotans want the ability to bet on sports. I'm not sure where people are on this idea that you can bet on just about anything. That is what Kalshi and other prediction markets allow. The state of Minnesota, led by our next guest, voted, passed, and the governor signed into law a law that bans prediction markets. This gambling, the hosting of it, the operating of it, the advertising of it, all banned in the state of Minnesota. Late yesterday afternoon, a federal judge said, pump the brakes on this ban. And so State Representative Emma Greenman is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline to share some thoughts on that. Emma, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So first of all, your reaction to this federal judge saying we're going to have a temporary injunction while the lawsuit over this works its way out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed that a federal court judge chose to weigh in on this bipartisan bill that was responding to something that folks across the aisle were seeing in their communities and wanted to take urgent action on as we see this explosion of prediction markets. In courts in other states, Michigan, Ohio, Massachusetts, Nevada have gone in a different direction. So I feel hopeful that the conversation about the law and what it does in the long run, that we're on solid legal ground. But I am disappointed. One thing I will say that I was heartened by is that she definitely, to use your term, pumps the brakes on this idea that Kalshi and Polymarket are saying, which is that the CFTC has the ability to basically regulate anything and everything exclusively and takes the power away from the states. I think that'll be the conversation in courts.
Yeah, and the question is, right, because these prediction markets are so strange. Like if you've like I've logged on to see what they're about, but I've never placed a bet on them. I don't know if regular people realize the the broad sort of variety of thing. Yes, you can bet on like who's going to win a game, but you can bet on, when the Strait of Hormuz is going to open, or when the Iran war is going to be done, or who's going to win American Idol. Yeah, all this stuff. Like when DeRussia's finally going to come back from vacation. Like you can bet on all of it.
That's right.
When are the DFL candidates for U.S. Senate going to kiss and make up? Like all of these things you can bet on. And that is why I think like trying to figure out, okay, who does regulate this? Who does have authority over it? It does seem very complicated to me. This isn't just the stock market.
Right. And I think that's the point. The last point you made is important because since Minnesota was a territory, we have been using our police powers to regulate gambling. That's the same as 49 other states. And the laws have, like, we have gambling, we have casinos and charities and the lottery, and the laws have been carefully tailored to balance some of those things I think that you are worried about. There people are concerned about gambling, its impact, addiction. Also, you got to be concerned that if you have people gambling, we got to make sure that the markets are fair. And a lot of these, what we see every week with these prediction markets is insiders using information to manipulate the markets. That means somebody's on the other side of that bet is getting hurt, is getting defrauded by folks who have insider information that makes that bet not fair. All of those things are things that states for hundreds of years have been weighing and balancing and regulating. And so this idea that the CFTC would wake up and literally change their entire position on their regulatory authority and statute in a year is concerning to those folks of us in states who really see the problem with betting on anything and everything.
Now, as we talk with State Representative Emma Greenman, DFLer, I do wonder if Minnesota would have been better off legalizing sports gambling and building some guardrails around it and regulating it, instead of sort of doing nothing, creating this opening for the prediction markets to take over all of the gambling that's happening in Minnesota, and now trying to be the first in the nation to regulate to this extent. Do you think things could have been better if we would have maybe just set a framework earlier with sports gambling?
No, because Nevada is currently in court right now with the CFTC, where they're arguing that Nevada doesn't have the right as a state to regulate the sports gambling that they've legalized. So their argument is not just that our law, that they don't like our law. Their argument is that they have the ability to run these unregulated sports books in all 50 states. So, and that is why states around the country, whether they've legalized sports betting or not, are currently taking this position that it is the state's ability to decide. And the CFTC, what the agency who's saying they have exclusive jurisdiction, backed by Polymarket and Kalshi, are saying is you states don't have the right to decide that. You don't have the right to set your guardrails. And we've basically legalized sportsbook whether or not you like it or not. And you can't tax it, and you can't put, restrictions on making sure it's folks under 21. You can't control for problem gambling. So we are in it's a different posture, right? We've passed a law. Other states are doing regulatory enforcement, but all of these states are fighting to just ensure that we as a state have the ability to make that decision. And if we do decide it, to do it in the way that our citizens feel comfortable.
Is this a bit of a fool's errand, though, and that technology is always going to be ahead of the states? It's always going to be ahead of the regulatory efforts on this stuff, and trying to be little old Minnesota regulating these things that can easily go offshore. I mean, I know it's been illegal, but I know my friends, and I'm sure my stupid teenagers have probably cast bets or whatever on some of these things. I hate to be the one to throw up my hands and say, I don't know if there's anything really we can do about this. But sometimes it feels like when the state is trying to regulate a technology thing like this, that we never win,
I don't think that's true. And here's the example I will use. Michigan legalized sports betting on the online sports book. Minnesota didn't. There are also, because they're doing it legally, there's all sorts of rules that the folks in Michigan follow, including that they can't provide gambling to Minnesota. And so you can't get on one of those regulated sports books in Minnesota. You could potentially do it offshore, but not that many people do it, right? There's a reason they're spending tens of millions of dollars to try to legalize it. So I think the argument that it's inevitable, there's nothing we can do, is something you hear from the billionaires and their big companies, but it actually just doesn't play out in reality, which is why they're fighting so hard to avoid our law.
Yeah, I think that's fair. They wouldn't be fighting it to this degree if it really didn't matter anyway, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Emma Greenman is with us. What the next steps here are what?
So now the court's actually this was at the very preliminary stage. So they're going to do discovery, which means swapping facts back and forth. And actually the judge is going to weigh in. Here's what I will say. States across the country are litigating this. And there are other states that have found absolutely that have protected states and states' rights to do this kind of thing and to regulate and potentially ban these sports books and these prediction markets. So I think that we'll see whatever happens in Minnesota, we'll see this going up the chain in the federal courts.
Now, for my first foray, since the judge kept prediction markets open, my first wager today was on the precise time that you were going to get your furniture delivery this afternoon.
That's true. I wouldn't have been able to make it on with you. You know, they give you a window. It's usually a suggestion.
What was the window? What did they tell you?
2:30 to 4:30, but actually they came at 2.
Yeah. See? The window is the great. This is my $1 billion idea for room and board. If they could create like a prediction market wager that would come along with their delivery of their furniture, that now we're having fun while we're waiting for the couch.
Or losing money because someone with inside information is betting on the other side.
There is that. What'd you get delivered? What'd you get?
An outdoor a couch. I just got a new deck, which I've been working on for a while. So everybody out there who knows that what it's like to have your backyard project that's gone on for 10 years, but I'm finalizing it.
Very good. Well, enjoy that couch. It's hot tonight, but I think it's still outdoor furniture worthy for sure.
Oh, it's for sure outdoor weather. It's Minnesota. We got to soak up every minute we can.
100%. State Representative Emma Greenman, we appreciate it. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thank you.
418, when we come back, what I would have done differently if I were Angie Craig, and also John and Yvette Hoffman, the inside debate, the gossip, the drama around the U.S. Senate race, and how I would have handled it differently. We'll do that next.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Oh, my youngest is back in Minnesota right now. Summer in the Philippines, and Sam is back. It's Jason here, and he knows how we're going to be celebrating his return. Minnesota pork, you got that right. Dinner as a family tonight, why not? And the weather is warm, but it's not too hot to fire up the grill, I would say. If you're nervous about firing up the grill, maybe you're going air fryer tonight. TasteWhatPorkCanDo.com is a one-stop website that can maybe guide you to a new experience, something delicious, something different, something that works for your family's need, for your schedule. How about crispy pork belly tostadas? How about ham hock fried rice or a maple pork burger with applesauce? All of those recipes available for you at TasteWhatPorkCanDo.com. You know, they say put flavor on the table. That's what they're about. That is what the Minnesota Pork Board is all about. 3,000 family farmers every corner of this state working so hard to bring you lean, affordable, delicious pork. So get to that grocery store, get that butcher shop. Let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
All right. It's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples. That was easy.
Hi, this is Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. For years, you've heard our messages about safety, no texting campaigns, and community awareness. But now, I'd really love to hear from you. What matters most to you? What do you think about our messages? Please go to our website, hit the big red button, and share your thoughts. MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. I truly hope you're never in a collision, but if you are, please call us first.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
Bradshaw and Bryant. I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop. Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop. A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Back on your couch, making eyes from across the room. Wait, I think I've been there.
Angie Craig screwed this up. And I think John and Yvette Hoffman screwed this up too. Family drama in the DFL. There are some legitimate reasons why, if you were a voter, that you could be concerned about an allegation that Angie Craig sent a surrogate into the ICU to try to get State Senator John Hoffman's endorsement. It sounds skeezy. It sounds gross, doesn't it? Now, both parties are disputing, it's like, well, these guys are lying, and the headlines are awful for everyone. People magazine wrote about it. Minnesota lawmaker says Senate candidate pressed him for endorsement while he and wife were in ICU after assassination attempt. That is not the kind of headline that you want to see, right? It's you hear it and you're like, this is gross. Both sides have shared text messages back and forth. There are times in life that you cannot win by defending yourself. What's the defense here? Guy who was assassinated and survived is a liar? Like, that's not a winner. Well, maybe he was hopped up on pain meds and didn't quite remember it right. Well, that's not really a winner either. The only correct response for Angie Craig in this scenario should have been, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I never would have wanted you to feel like I was pressuring you in a time that you weren't ready. My concern was always for you and for your safety and for your recovery. And I feel awful. I am so sorry. That's it. Instead, it's I categorically deny it. That's not what happened. Then David Wellstone, who was a friend of both or was a friend of both, is like, well, no, like she didn't send me in there to do that. Yes, I did bring her up. There are times that the actual litigation of whatever happened, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a loser. You're never going to win. The only right thing to do would have been to say, I'm sorry. Now, yesterday when we talked about this a little bit, I was hesitant to go too hard on John Hoffman and Yvette Hoffman because they were victims of an attempted assassination. Their families' courage and their survival and their advocacy, I still look at them as absolute heroes. Angie Craig texted John Hoffman a number of times. The first time when he was in the ICU, it was just, and both sides have been releasing these texts, which is also skeezy and embarrassing. But when you look at the timeline of all of these texts that have been released, like there was one right when he was in the ICU, but there was one maybe a month later. And he said that he was really irked. It really hurt him that she was asking for that. At any time, responding via text and shutting it down would have been the better thing to do. Airing this out months later, I don't know, it makes all of these folks, it makes me sad for the personal relationships here. And it all feels like a political game 2 months to the primary. So apologizing and meaning it, because man, if I were Angie Craig, hearing that John Hoffman felt like she was, crassly trying to get an endorsement, and you're like, oh, that I would generally feel bad about that. Now, let me say one other thing. I do not have a single problem with a politician trying to get another politician's endorsement. And John Hoffman has endorsed a number of politicians, and he's done it after, after he was still in recovery. And I thought at that time, I was like, wow, that's like, but from what I've read, the guy loves politics. He loves the game. He loves supporting people that align with his views. And so I don't have a particular problem with that outreach. I do wish he or his wife would have tried to shut it down before it became this thing, because I think it sort of reflects poorly on everybody. And it's sad. I think it's sad. I think sometimes there's a lesson for the rest of us in this sort of stuff too, though, when it comes to actually apologizing and actually meaning it. And I get it that the instinct is to, well, here's the evidence. Here's my evidence. Here's my truth. Here's the reality. This person's version, like, I don't know. I'm not saying they're lying, but I'm saying that's not my version of reality. You know what that makes you feel? What that makes me feel? Like you're a horrible human. And we all have that instinct, right? We want to defend ourselves. We want to lay out our truth. We want to, lay out the scenario. Nobody cares. No one cares. This guy and his wife and their daughter were all face to face with a killer. And if they say you went too far, then you did. Or at least you should feel bad that they feel that way. And you can litigate it at home with your wife, with your mom, with your kids, with your besties. But the rest of the world doesn't really need to see the dirty laundry of all of this. That's my view. You're welcome to text in 651-461-9226. You could text in like this person. Whoever this dude is on the air now is such a Craig apologist and does not see things squarely. That is one interpretation of what I just said, including the segment that began with me saying what Angie Craig did wrong and what I would have done in that scenario. Apologist, though, that's me. More apologies coming up as we look at a shocking data point. I know nobody wants explosive anything in their life, but the number of Americans who say they're avoiding buying produce, I have some theories on this, and that's to Russia Eats in just a minute.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I would love for you to check out the brand new Luther Kia of Bloomington. Oh, it is a gorgeous facility. It's Jason here from my friend Dan Dingman and the whole team at Luther Kia Bloomington. I'll be out there tomorrow, and I want to talk to you about getting your maintenance done at the Kia dealer. Now, the actual vehicles, holy moly. Kia's the hottest brand in America. They got the Kia Carnival LXS right now, $549 a month for 36 months with 0 down payment. Kia Seltos, which is a great mileage, small vehicle. And maybe you need a big boy, the Kia Telluride. Oh, this thing is the hottest vehicle in America. They got a hybrid version as well, all at great pricing at LutherKiaofBloomington.com. Now, when I talk about doing your service at the dealer, I'm getting my tires, brand new tires at the dealer tomorrow. And I do like doing the service at Luther Kia Bloomington. They got a price match guarantee on tires. They've got buy 3 tires, get the 4th for $1. And you know that these people know your vehicle better than anybody else. Go check them out. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on Drive Time with DeRusha. Dan Dingman is my guy at LutherKiaofBloomington.com.
Yeah, summer nights are made for Twins baseball. This is the stretch before the stretch run.
Out of here! Larnick with a 2-run homer. Twins on top, lead 2-1.
Hear every pitch on your flagship home for Twins baseball.
Breaking ball swung on a miss, and this one belongs to the Minnesota Twins.
News Talk 830 WCCO.
This is Laura Oakes letting you know my friends at Linda's Construction are offering 75% off installation labor on Leaf Guard brand gutters and GAF asphalt shingles through July. Get in touch with Linda's today, 844-9-LINDAS or lindasconstruction.com.
So when do you need to start thinking about a will? Find out at gutmanlaw.com. What is a living trust, and do you need this? Find out at gutmanlaw.com. What about a power of attorney or probate? We'll get all the answers to your questions when you schedule a free attorney consultation at, gutmanlaw.com. It's Jordana. And I didn't know the first thing about wills, living trusts, estate planning, but I didn't need to. All I did was reach out to my friend Matt Gutman and his partner Jamie Ref Wagner. This is their focus: wills, trust, probate, estate plans. Now knowing that my loved ones will be taken care of no matter what helps me sleep at night. Don't wait until it's too late to get these things taken care of. You can schedule a free, no-hassle consultation right on the website. Say it with me, gutmanlaw.com. Gutmanlaw.com, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow. It's not just a slogan. I sleep better at night now that I have my estate plan in place. Thanks to Matt Gutman and Jamie.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
David Linsky of L3 Family Wealth Partners.
You know, people will spend a year planning their big vacation. Take the same care when it comes to your retirement plan.
Listen to the Retirement Reality Report, Saturday at 11 on WCCO.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads. and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
94 has trouble in both directions. Eastbound near Radio Drive in Woodbury has a crash being reported, and westbound at the Dale Street ramp. So be on the lookout for those. Crosstown eastbound has 2 crashes also. One on the east side on Highway 5 in Mendota Heights, and the other near Delaware Avenue in Sunfish Lake. 694 northbound in Oakdale has a crash between 10th Street and Stillwater Road. That's backing things up a little bit. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, CCO forecast time. It is hot. It's going to continue to be hot as well. Here is Chris Schaefer.
A quiet night tonight with a partly cloudy sky as we drop back to 72. Still a little muggy. It's going to be warm and borderline humid again tomorrow with a high around 93. For most of us, a partly cloudy sky. There will be a few pop-up showers here and there. Many will stay dry. Thursday, a better chance of rain moving from west to east. Should arrive late and spill into Friday.
Right now it's hot. Yep, it is hot. Not as hot as yesterday, though. 88 degrees. 89 degrees in Minneapolis. You're on CCO.
Drive time with DeRusha.
Weird. It was startling. It's a little scary.
On News Talk 830 WCCO. DeRusha. He has the eats.
Nobody brings you the Twin Cities restaurant scene like your favorite foodie. Now, Jason explores some of the great chefs, owners, and stories right in our own backyard. Drive Time now transitions into DeRusha Eats.
And DeRusha Eats is brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board. Are you guys really afraid of vegetables right now? 651-461-9226. Last night, I went to the grocery store like the true brave human being I am. I am not afraid of nothing. Not only did I buy a little kind of, what would you call it? A little package. It wasn't a bag of crispy lettuce, but it was a kind of rectangular box, I guess, with like Dan has no idea because Dan has never been to the produce section of a grocery store.
I couldn't be more safe from this outbreak if it was designed genetically to affect everyone but me.
40% of Americans in a new CBS News YouGov poll say that they are avoiding buying produce. 40% are buying or eating less produce after the cyclospora outbreak, the outbreak we like to call explosive diarrhea.
Dun, dun, dun.
40% of you are crazy, and I don't believe it. There are times that public opinion polls come out and people say, I don't believe it. It's fake news. I am here to tell you that I believe 40% of Americans have finally found the excuse they've been seeking. The fact that they eat like crap, that they never have a salad, that they never have a vegetable. Now they can cloak it in this BS.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to have explosive diarrhea, so I'm cutting back.
Just saw a story on the national news of a poor bride trying to get married. And then she gets hit with the cyclospora and winds up in the hospital. I don't need that in my life.
Well,
I'm going to be safe, Jason, and I'm going to avoid the produce. And if you want to mock those of us that put our safety and the safety of our loved ones first, I mean, that's your thing.
Now, do we even know what is to blame here for this? Because at first,
the FDA can't figure this out. They thought they had it down.
We
and
took
then
this company.
It was
and
wrong. It was a false positive.
Them.
Yeah.
I did a whole story, a whole segment about like the fact that I had 2 bags of salad in my fridge and I was afraid to eat it.
It's weird what happens when you cut a bunch of people that you think you don't need, and then you can't prevent wildfires and you can't figure out where the cyclospora came from. And Funny how that works.
I just can't believe that people are truly changing their diet because of the fear.
Safety, Jason. Safety. Why would you mock safety?
I don't.
What's the matter with
It's
you?
crazy. Jeff is in Sauk Rapids. Jeff, I know that you are a huge roughage guy. You're all about fiber. You're all about the roughage.
I'm all about all of that, and I'm also brave. But I'll tell you what, I have, over time, been trying to find the right balance with regularity.
Sure.
And I've tried milk of magnesia.
Yeah.
Miralax.
Right.
Most recently, Metamucil.
Yeah.
And it seems that every time I follow the instructions, after a while, over time, all of a sudden, it'll just gang up on me.
Mm.
So if you think I'm going to take a chance on lettuce,
you see,
not until they come up with an anti-parasitic French dressing.
Now, which
Jeff gets it.
Which Metamucil did you try, Jeff? The gummies or the?
Yeah, the gummies.
Yeah, yeah.
And I followed the instructions to a T.
You know, I think Jordana may have some gummies for you that could. It's a
different kind of gummy.
Different kind of gummy. Thanks, Jeff.
I think they'd be a better option.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Now,
gummies. Maybe if I'm in the bathroom a lot, I wouldn't care so much.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Jeff. Now, my confidence maybe comes from the fact that I was just in Mexico, and
how'd that go for you, Jason?
I don't even think explosive diarrhea is really that bad. I think it's more important to eat healthy. It's more important to have your vegetables, have your salad, have your lettuce. I had a salad last night. That was delicious.
Just because Mr. Montezuma has already parked himself at your St. Paul residence doesn't mean the rest of us got to, take a roll of the dice every time we walk down the lettuce aisle.
Texters say, Jason, we have a big garden with tons of produce, all organic.
There you go.
That's pretty smart.
Nothing wrong with that
Then
lettuce.
you have nothing to be worried about. Although the fact that we as Americans give anything that we idiots grow or cook this like advanced level of food safety as compared to anywhere else is sort of hilarious. But like this Cyclospora, now, as you know, I am a bit of a disease expert.
Yes.
And part of
specifically with parasites.
Parasites, one of my specialties.
Yes.
Airborne viruses. I learned everything from the Fauci diaries. So I've just been reading those, just clinging. Well, I've been clinging to the throne,
right,
and also clinging,
Mr. Montezuma,
to the. Yeah. So, we still think it's lettuce, iceberg lettuce. I mean, can't you just switch to another lettuce? Also, unless you're having a BLT, unless you're going BLT, is there a reason for any real adult to be using iceberg lettuce? You know what I'm saying? Like, iceberg lettuce belongs on a BLT sandwich. I'm hard pressed to find any other example why you would need iceberg lettuce. And frankly, the people who got the explosive D, or as we also like to call it, the salad shooter outbreak. I mean, it's sort of, it looks, it's a bad look on them. Not only do you have explosive D, you also have bad taste that you're eating iceberg lettuce. Sheila is in Kensington. Sheila, people are just making excuses for being terrible eaters, aren't they?
I agree 100%, and I'm eating lettuce. And I think the explosive D is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm dying. But yeah, no, I eat fruits, I eat vegetables, I wash them. I've always washed my fruits and vegetables. So I'm not stopping eating salads. I just lost 50 pounds. I'm going to keep eating the way I've been eating.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank
Not
you.
a-
Thank you.
Great job losing the weight, but also your courage, I think, is an example for many that you're not going to be afraid of a little explosive D. And should you get it, hey, you know,
I'll lose more weight.
Yes, exactly. Step on the
It might not
scale.
feel so good.
Step on the scale after you finish doing your business. That's what I recommend.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, no, I'm not afraid. I think we can't sit and live in fear over every single thing.
Yes,
God.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sheila. Very good. Texter's asking if this is my new Twitter handle, Explosive D. And another texter saying that his wife doesn't seem to mind his Explosive D. Jason, COVID taught everybody that they need to wash their hands. You also need to wash yours, fruit and vegetables, because who knows where they've been. Fauci set to tell the U.S. that because of this outbreak, everybody should be wearing a diaper. I mean, maybe will this finally get the kind of COVID skeptics another chance to use like the face diaper reference that people were using? That was a popular one.
That was a good one. Yeah, no, I think they'll for sure try to bring that back. You just gave them the idea.
Yeah. I think of the Napoleon Dynamite quote. Dina, eat your meal, eat your lettuce. Yeah. Texter saying best part of prep for colonoscopy is switching to a low fiber diet a few days before, a guilt-free couple days. Fair prep. I mean, honestly,
I wasn't going to say it, but
yeah.
I was going to let you bring it up. Some of us prepare well for that procedure and everything goes just fine. And other people, they tell them, nope, actually, we can't do it because your prep wasn't good enough.
Oh, they did it. It just was maybe an unpleasant voyage. I don't know.
But you couldn't really do the results, right? I mean, it was.
No, they
you
were
told
like-
you had to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you done it yet?
Sure. Eat your vegetables. Stop being pansies.
No, and you can't make me.
Explosive D. It's fine. It's fine. Now, of course, like someone's going to send me some article about blah, 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 blah. Don't get the cyclospora, whatever. That's DeRusha Eats, a different angle on the topic today. In a minute, a more appetizing conversation. Dan Cook and I are going to square off.
Yeah, we are.
One of the ultimate food disputes. Milk chocolate versus dark chocolate. Pick a side. You've got to pick a side too. Milk chocolate or dark. Text your one-word response to 651-461-9226.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
There are all sorts of different ways to lose weight. The previous segment is one. Livia is another. It's Jason for Livia Weight Control Centers, where they are laser focused on helping you feel like yourself again for good. And the new Livia, it encompasses so many different things. It's been very interesting for me to talk to the team over there and find out the way they've evolved over the years. You know, my relationship with Livia started 4 years ago in the summer when I dedicated myself to changing my life. I wanted to feel better. I wanted to have more energy. I wanted to sleep better. And I've achieved all of that and more. Thanks to Livia. I lost 45 pounds. I kept it off. That is the part that I'm not going to lie. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that I'm standing here today, still feeling great, looking great, feeling better than I ever thought possible in my 50s. Now, maybe you're intrigued with medical weight loss or GLP-1 support or hormone replacement therapy. There are so many different paths where Livia can help you get to the goal. That's what I want for you. I want you to be the version of yourself you've always dreamed of. Livia can help you get there. I want you to join me on the exploration. Get to livia.com, livea.com. They're going to give you a free metabolic health examination. So you get that free metabolic health assessment, and then they're going to create a plan just for you. It's pretty cool. Livia.com, livea.com.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years. But I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw and Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and emailing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about good mayo, Duke's mayo. It'll make any dish sing. Get Duke's mayo in store. It's got twang.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
This traffic report is brought to you by Duke's Real Mail. Maybe we need some explosive D. Traffic is backed up all over the metro. 694 northbound in Oakdale still has a wreck between 10th Street and Stillwater Road. 94 eastbound in Woodbury still has a collision near Radio Drive. 35W northbound has an accident at Lexington Avenue ramp that's backing things up a little ways. And if you're headed east on 494, that backup starts at West Bush Lake Road, all the way over to Cedar Avenue. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, Newstalk 830 WCC.
Darren, you could be explosive D. I mean, explosive.
I'm telling you.
Explosive DK, maybe. I don't know.
There we go. Let's change it.
I like it. I like it. Thanks, man.
Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. Serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
JTR. Roofing and siding, that's who we are.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, CCO forecast brought to you by JTR Roofing. Chris Schaefer tells us tonight's low is 72, which is pretty unpleasant. Tomorrow, humid again, high of 93. Isolated showers possible. Thursday, rain possible late. Friday, rain possible for real. Thursday, still 92. Yuck, it's 88 on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I cried my eyes dry, Elizabeth Taylor. forever. Number one, but I never had to. And I can't have
Today is National Milk Chocolate Day. And I think milk chocolate is for children. I really do. I love chocolate. I
appreciate this because you're making my point for me, but please go ahead, continue.
I love dark chocolate. In Mexico, I bought a bunch of dark chocolate.
I'm sure you did.
Milk chocolate. It is, look, I'm happy for you. Well, I shouldn't rain on Milk Chocolate Day. Dan Cook, you are the milk chocolate fan. It's your day.
You know what milk chocolate is, Jason?
What?
It's delicious.
Meh.
You know what dark chocolate is? It tastes terrible, and then people eat it and try to pretend that they like it because they're snobs.
Well, you don't have to
because
have
they're dessert
100%
snobs. They're saying, look how much better I am. Look at me because
I'm a
I
grown-up.
enjoy the dark chocolate. I don't enjoy the milk chocolate. Stop it. Milk chocolate's delicious. Everybody loves it, and you're wrong.
Dark chocolate, if you're eating 100% dark chocolate, that is
grotesque.
It's more an ingredient at that point, I would say.
It's one of these things that's like, it's an acquired taste. No, it's not. It tastes terrible.
But 84%, 72%, great. 60 is 60%.
What is this, alcohol now? We got to have proofs on the stuff?
Yeah, if you go.
Don't give me too much of it.
Yeah, there's a chocolate shop in downtown St. Paul, and you can get, they have truffles in all different flavors, and you pick the percentage.
Does it say la-di-da on the door, or is that just assumed as you're walking in?
It's St. Paul. Nothing is la-di-da. It's called Legacy Chocolate.
Sure, it's
Very
a
good.
Fine group of people in a fine establishment that probably sells more milk chocolate than it does dark chocolate.
Texters, I've been tallying up your votes and the votes on YouTube. It is a 2-1 margin here, dark, by a lot. Nothing better than a Hershey bar with almonds. That's milk, right?
Yes, it is.
Milk chocolate only, says a text. Continental Diamond. They got a bowl of chocolates when you go visit them in St. Louis Park. Time check 4:57.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
3,000 family farmers every corner of the state of Minnesota. Minnesota pork. It's Minnesota's pride and joy. We are one of the leaders in the nation when it comes to pork production. And what does that mean to you? It means that you have access to some of the finest pork in the country and in the world because our pig farmers are sending Minnesota pork all around the country and all around the world. We know as they get ready for the state fair coming up in a month that the best way for you to get ready is a delicious pork chop on the grill in the backyard. Maybe some pork tenderloin. How about some ribs? You need recipe inspiration. Get to tastewhatporkcando.com. You can sort by cut. I recommend, especially in a time when budgets are tight, checking out ground pork. Yes, lots of recipes for that as well. Go to your grocery store. Go to your butcher shop. Let's have Minnesota pork.
Streaming live via the Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps. This is News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A final farewell for the late Senator Lindsey Graham, with family, lawmakers, and dignitaries attending his funeral at National Cathedral today. President Trump delivering remarks describing Graham as a true American original.
Trump remembered Graham as a giant of the United States Senate, who uniquely understood the levers of power in Washington.
For more than 30 years, nothing of consequence happened in this Capitol without Lindsey Graham knowing about it.
While they began their relationship as rivals in the 2016 Republican primary, Trump described Graham as a friend who devoted his life to public service.
He was a man who gave America the full measure of his good and mighty heart until that heart itself just gave out.
Graham is set to be buried in South Carolina on Wednesday. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
A bipartisan group of senators set to vote tonight on a highly anticipated Russia and Iran sanctions bill named in Graham's honor. Even though there is a pause in airstrikes between the U.S. and Iran, Iranian-backed Houthis in Yemen claiming to have struck another Saudi ship today in the Red Sea, another critical waterway facing a blockade. The Midwest is cleaning up following volatile storms and tornadoes yesterday. Wisconsin hit hardest. ABC's Alex Perche is in Menasha.
In nearby Appleton,
Oh my God!
debris sent flying as a tornado moved through.
Debris in the air!
AccuWeather storm chasers are tracking the destruction on the highway.
There's massive debris flying in the road.
Cars mangled in sheet metal.
I hope they're okay.
The storm exploding transformers.
Oh, that is good.
Down power lines, leaving more than 500,000 without power across the region Monday as the storms rolled through.
In Georgia, a judge sentenced Colt Gray to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the deadly shooting at Appalachia High School outside Atlanta in 2024, killing 4 people. You're listening to ABC.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Partly cloudy, 88 degrees at 5:02. I'm Laura Oakes. Minnesota's public water systems are now secure after facing multiple cyber attacks over the last several days. State IT teams and local public works departments responded to the attacks at 30 separate municipal sites, we learned today. While tests verified that tap water remained completely safe, several impacted systems are temporarily relying on manual controls. Minnesota's Chief Information Security Officer, John Israel.
While maybe taking them offline or moving to a manual process is the kind of the immediate mitigation here, we're kind of continue to work with those entities to help them design and implement secure systems that help them maintain the service levels and management that their residents expect.
Local utility companies are now preparing to review their cybersecurity measures while tech specialists figure out the source of the digital breaches. Overnight permits for the Boundary Waters canoe area are partially reopening on Thursday as wildfire conditions improve. The Forest Service says this includes 41 entry points. A campfire ban remains in effect, but gas stoves are allowed for cooking. Minneapolis city leaders working to address the growing demand for affordable housing with the new multi-family project in the Wyndham neighborhood today. Public Housing Authority Executive Director Abdi Warsami says even so, more than 3,500 families remain on the public housing wait list.
MPHA staff are excited to begin helping families move into their new homes. Leasing these units will begin next month with the goal of having families moved in early September, just in time for the new school year.
Plenty of Vikings news today as the team heads into their first full day of training camp.
First, the team suspended assistant coach Gerald Alexander 3 weeks without pay following an April arrest for drunken driving. Head coach Kevin O'Connell.
Disappointment is the word. As coaches, the expectations and the standards we have are clear, and it's important that we do those things for our players and be the examples on and off the field.
Better news is that the team signed offensive tackle Brian O'Neill to a 4-year extension.
He's been such a pillar of this organization and just the leadership as a guy that from day one when I arrived here, he's been somebody that, you know, he's poured in everything.
And the cherry on top is the signing of 3-time Pro Bowl linebacker Jamal Adams to a 1-year contract. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Less than a week now before baseball's trading deadline, and the Twins find themselves right on the edge of postseason eligibility. General Manager Jeremy Zoll says all teams are weighing their options.
Usually there's about 10 to 12 sellers. Feels like we're probably short of that number by a handful of teams, but probably there's going to be more time spent on this idea of a mixed strategy, buying and selling, which a lot of teams talk about, but at the end of the day is harder to pull off.
The Twins may be looking to trade catcher Ryan Jeffers, whose contract expires at the end of the season. They also would like to bolster their pitching staff for any late surge to make the playoffs. WCCO News Time is 5:05.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
94 eastbound, a wreck between Dale Street and Marion Street, Kellogg Boulevard over there in St. Paul. On 94 westbound, an incident being reported on between Western and Lexington Parkway, also in St. Paul. Eastbound across town, there's a crash at the exit ramp to 35W South. That one has things backed up. That's off on the shoulder of the entrance ramp. 36 westbound, a crash on the shoulder at the 694 South exit ramp. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Gutman Law, Wills, Trusts, and Probate Law. Find them at gutmanlaw.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
A quiet night tonight. The elevated smoke from those wildfires out west will make the nearly full moon look pretty cool. 72 the overnight low. Partly cloudy tomorrow. A few isolated showers are possible with a high of 93. Our better chance of rain comes late Thursday night into Friday.
Partly cloudy right now, 88 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
The stories we're following can follow you. Stay connected to the latest breaking news and impactful headlines on the Odyssey app and at WCCOradio.com. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha, fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
It is time to stop building roundabouts because you people are too stupid to figure out how to use them. That's it. You won. We need to stop. It's time to give it up. I really think this. I think we have failed as a society.
Now shut up and drive.
We couldn't do it. We tried. But it's time to quit making roundabouts happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. 651-461-9226. I really believe that they are more trouble than they're worth. That despite the fact that the traffic nerds and the traffic engineers want to tell you that they slow cars down, they make things safer. Right now, according to Star Tribune, there are nearly 600 roundabouts on Minnesota roads in the last 2 decades. I do not mind a roundabout. I grew up in suburban Chicago, half a mile from what we called the Cumberland Circle. Cumberland Circle was great, man. This thing, you Minnesotans are straight up amateur hour compared to what this deal was. This was a massive, theoretically 2-lane, but, you could wiggle your way in and probably create a third in this thing. And if you could survive Chicago drivers, it was a great way to learn how to drive. You approach the roundabout, and then you just go for it. This is why I think a roundabout and the culture of Minnesota, they are incompatible. In Minnesota, we are a no-you-go culture. The roundabout is designed to be a get to the stop or the yield and then go for it. Just go. Count on the fact that the odds are that someone is probably going to exit right where you are, and just look for your opening and go. Don't be so timid. Don't be so kind. Dakota County put in a roundabout at 185th Street and Kenwood Trail in Lakeville. It is what they call a 2x2 roundabout. So it's a little different from the regular roundabout, but It is now the most crash-prone location in Dakota County. Dakota County's traffic engineer told the Strib there's a crash here almost every other day. The first roundabout arrived in Minnesota in the 1990s. And the best thing that the traffic engineers can say is that, like, well, you don't get a T-bone. You don't get like a T-bone crash. Is it better to have 100 crashes at an angle instead of 2 T-bones? Like, what? I want to be clear. The failure here is not on traffic engineers. It's you. It's you guys. It's you. It's all the other drivers. I am exceptional at a roundabout. I'm one of the best roundabout drivers in the history of driving. You guys suck. And I think there comes a point where terrible drivers who can't figure out how to do a roundabout, you won. You guys won. I think that traffic designers should no longer design roundabouts. They should take their roundabouts and go back to Europe because we can't figure it out. We can't. I don't think it should be this difficult. But like, we've been trying for a while. How long are we supposed to keep building these things? Chris is in Minneapolis at 651-461-9226. Chris, I think the bad drivers maybe have won, and we should stop designing these things. What do you think?
Well, you're right. We as Minnesotans certainly don't know how to use them, but I lived in Europe quite a bit, and over there, it's really simple. You're right. It's a yield, not a stop, and go for it to get in there. And second thing is signal your exit so somebody who's coming up to it knows what you're going to do.
You know what's happening. Yes. I don't know why. Are you surprised that it's so confusing to people?
Yeah, because we have an intern this summer, and she just told us about her driver's ed class where they teach them not to signal their exit because it's confusing to the people in the roundabout, which I think is half the problem. I mean, people don't signal their exit, and they also don't know how to, like you say, it's a yield, not a stop. You don't want to get in there.
You just got to go for it. It's fine. It's going to be fine. Yeah. Thanks, Chris. Thank you. Appreciate it. Beth is in a car. And Beth, you have firsthand knowledge of this Lakeville roundabout, right?
Yeah, it used to be a stop light, and I went through it, but the woman who was already in the roundabout made a lane change.
No.
Into me, yes. Yeah.
Oh.
And her airbags went off. I mean, her car was totaled. I don't care about T-boning.
Yeah.
Her car was totaled. And it was awful.
That's awful. Why would you make a lane change at a roundabout? Like, pick a lane and you're in there, buddy.
Yeah, except that if you enter and you're on the inside left lane and you want to now exit, you make a lane change. So she entered to my left. I entered and she made a lane change, and there went the car.
She just wasn't paying attention or didn't see you and just crashed right into you, huh? You were okay?
Yeah, we were okay.
Yeah.
We, just shaken up.
Yeah. That's scary. Do you think they should take the roundabout out there, Beth?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, at a certain point, you have to say, like, it's just not working. If there's a crash every day, I think that's pretty obvious evidence, right?
Right. And, the stoplight, the problem was people exiting the freeway, then it would back up. So they've got to do something there. I understand that. But an accident at the same place every day, every other day is... I don't think it's working. Hello.
No. Right. Yes. You and I, we don't need a civil engineering degree to realize, like, this ain't it. This ain't it.
Right.
Beth, thank you. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Terry is at 651-461-9226. Terry, I'm serious. I think the roundabout experiment is just not working.
Well, the Europeans know how to do it, and
yeah, but they wear berets and they have sort of a jaunty attitude. Terry, they're taking naps in the middle of the day. I mean, I don't know. Do we want to be like Europe?
Americans just have not learned
how to drive in a turning circle, because turn signals are a key part to communicating to the other drivers what you're doing. I mean, I was in a turning circle in Paris, 8 lanes.
Yeah.
And
no problem,
you
right?
you use your turn signal to get a left turn signal to get into the turning circle, and you keep your left turn signal on until you get to the exit that you want to take. Then get into that lane, use your right turn signal to indicate that you're getting out.
Now,
It's
Terry,
not that hard.
do the turn signals in France, do they mean the same things, or is it like a bit of a translation scenario?
No, they drive on the right side of the road, so turn signals are the same.
Very good.
So it's just,
how do
it's
we
an
get
education.
people? How do we get people to get it? I mean, I feel like we've been talking about this in this state for 20 years, and people still don't quite seem to get it.
Well, for me, it's the departments of transportation just are not instructing the drivers on how to do it. It's not in the driver's manual. It's not on any of the tests that I know of. So there's just this, we keep going with this huge ignorance factor in trying to figure out how to do these things.
I mean, we just didn't grow up around it. Like, I grew up around a traffic circle, so to me, it's very intuitive. It makes perfect sense. But around here, it's just foreign to so many people. And when they encounter it for the first time, I joke about everybody failing at this, but I am empathetic to the fact that it's sort of foreign to people here,
Oh, of course. Yes, it is. I agree. And we need education.
Yeah, that's right.
Departments of transportation need to educate the drivers on how to do it and how to do it safely. Without using turn signals, you're trying to guess what the other driver is going to do.
Good call, Terry. Thank you. I appreciate it. Lots of texts coming in. We'll share your thoughts. Is it time to ban roundabouts? 651-461-9226. Drive time back in just a minute.
We're gonna win, twins, we're gonna score.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
You know that feeling when your body is tired, but your brain just won't shut off? We've all been there. Jordana here. That's where CBN comes in. CBN, short for cannabinol, is a naturally occurring hemp cannabinoid known for its relaxing, sleepy effects. Think of it like the lights dimming signal for your brain. While CBD helps you stay calm, CBN helps your body know it's time to rest. That's why we call it CB Night Night. Mini Leaf Night and Night Plus Sleep Gummies combine CBN, CBD, and CBG to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, and then wake up feeling refreshed. Go to minileaf.com, MINNELEAF.com, minileaf.com, the home of Minnesota's best legal products. And tell them Jordana sent you.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Let's make this summer your best summer ever. Jason here for Luther Kia of Bloomington, and Luther Kia Bloomington wants to upgrade your ride. Outstanding prices. $399 a month. Sign and drive lease offers on Seltos, Sportage, Nero, and K5. Get out of here. Plus $750 owner loyalty cash on the stunning Kia Telluride and the Telluride Hybrid. Best cars for the money on the market. Check out their brand new facility, now open at 35W and 494. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm, American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
Fundamentally, a non-traditional approach to talking about, learning about, and exploring the day's news.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Baby, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it when we fight, and I like it when you mean. We don't have to get into what the
Well, we are not loving roundabouts, I'll tell you that much. 651-461-9226. We did just give away our Twins Ticket Tuesday tickets to Rita in Minnetonka. She got a 4-pack of tickets for the game on Monday, August 10th. Twins, Baltimore Orioles. Twins take a long road trip. They got tonight at Target Field, tomorrow at Target Field.
Thursday's a day game.
Thursday day game, and then
Friday.
gone.
Yeah, Friday they're out to Seattle.
But they're back on Monday, the 10th. You can get hot dogs, pretzels, ice cream, and beer, all for less than $6 an item.
Will there be new members of the team to see when they come back?
That we don't know. Trading deadline will be Monday, and then we're planning on doing a show out there in the next couple of weeks.
Sometime that homestand, yeah.
So we can maybe get to know. We're hoping there will be maybe a little pitching help. Yeah.
We'll see.
Plan your own trip to Target Field, twins.com/tickets. Lots of texts about roundabouts. Dan, are you a roundabout supporter? Are you?
Well, I feel like I do fine on roundabouts. But I am concerned that too many people don't know how to handle a roundabout, and they get timid and they sort of freeze,
just
which is the worst thing you can do in a roundabout is just kind of stop. So I think it's one of those things where we either need to do a serious education blitz, like the last caller said, or we need to stop doing it. Because especially when you hear about the statistics of that particular roundabout in the story today, and that, a caller earlier said where she got into an accident, you can't have it. If that's what it's doing, you're having an accident every day at a roundabout. I'm sorry. That's not working. We can't do that.
Now, MnDOT did a report that found roundabouts reduce serious and fatal crashes by more than 80%. And especially the single lane. I do think the single lane roundabout, you don't have too many choices. You know what I mean? You get in and you go to the
turn
right.
when you take a turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I do think if you can't figure out a single lane roundabout,
there's a roundabout in St. Louis Park that I use often enough that I know how it works, but I'm always concerned that because it's a dual lane roundabout. So as I usually approach it, I've got to be in the left lane because the right lane exits to the right. But there's also people coming from the right that are entering into the roundabout. So if they don't yield, because I'm going to take that inside lane around and then I have to move over a lane. I can't just keep going around. So I've got to move over a lane to the right to get out to the exit where I need to go. But if those people coming from my right don't yield appropriately, now, we're coming together in a bad way. So it's one of those things where if you're used to it, if it's something that you've done a bunch and you have a rhythm with it, I think it's great. But too many people don't use it often enough and don't understand how it works. Like I said, then you get timid and you get either people gunning it too much or just freezing in the middle of it. Either way, it's bad news.
Ann on Facebook says, yes, it's time to no more construction of roundabouts. We don't need any more. Andrew on YouTube disagrees. The Gold Line intersection should have been roundabouts because the wait time on a 6-way intersection is insane. I do think when you have a 6-way, that is brutal. The light goes green for like 40 seconds. It lets 5 cars through, and that's that. Another YouTube commenter says, we can't do roundabouts in Minnesota. This from the state that's still allergic to the zipper merge. I mean, fair. Is it surprising? Like, come on. Not really. Texter says we may not be good at roundabouts, but we do make up for it with our superior winter driving skills. Jason, I tell my kids to use roundabouts like a four-way stop. Use your turn signal. If you see someone using their signal, you can keep going. If you don't see one, you should stop. Another texter, are you crazy? Roundabouts are awesome. Texter says roundabouts are in the current Minnesota driver's manual. I thought so. I thought like my kids, when they did the driver's ed, it's the older generation who, and the ongoing drivers who are struggling with them. I don't know. I guess it's not the kids, but it does seem like it's a common challenge. Doug is in Buffalo. Doug, where are you at on roundabouts?
I do pretty good with them myself. I was stationed in New Jersey for 11 years, and they've had roundabouts since I don't know when.
Yeah.
I gotten used to them. And some people say that you need to use the left turn signal to enter. Well, everyone knows the direction you have to go when you enter a circle. So there's no point there, really.
But the exit, it would be useful for the exit, don't you think?
Yeah, it definitely is. You have to let the traffic know which exit you want to take or which street. And you do the same on an ordinary intersection, the plus type intersection, left to right,
right?
Forward. Yeah. So really, exit. Use the blinker when you exit a circle.
Very good. Good advice there. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it. Texter says that I heard Mississippi now ranks 6th in roundabout proficiency. I mean, just another way. What have the Democrats done to this state? We never knew how to drive in this state, did we? No. Texter says you're only supposed to use arm signals when you're in a roundabout. I've seen a few arm signals
in the roundabout, but I don't think they were very helpful.
Yeah. I just got in my car and I hear this topic about the roundabout as I am in Lakeville approaching the dreaded double roundabout. Maybe that's the compromise. Only single roundabouts allowed. The 2-lane roundabout is just too hard for us to figure it out. Another texter, I find roundabouts both thrilling and exciting. I mean, we all get our thrills in different ways, For some of us, Keith is in Plymouth. Keith, I think it's time to just throw in the towel that Minnesotans have shown that we don't know how to drive on roundabouts. And so let's stop. What do you think?
Oh, no, we need the roundabouts to keep the traffic flowing. I first learned to drive in a roundabout in Ireland, where I was driving on, steering wheel was on the opposite side of the car and driving on the opposite side of the road. And someone told me, when you're in Ireland, just remember the driver's in the center of the road, and when you come to a roundabout, turn left. And I think they're the greatest thing they've come up with in a long time.
Do you think that's because of your time in Ireland? You may be 30 to 60% Guinness. Is that possible?
I wish I was Guinness, but I haven't.
Yeah, fair enough. I do think a lot of this has to do with experience, though, right, Keith? If you grew up around it, you get it.
I didn't grow. Yeah, if you grew up around it, when I drove in Ireland, I didn't grow around it. That was the first time I experienced.
Do you think you're possibly smarter than many Minnesota drivers, though?
I don't know about that.
I feel fairly confident that you are. Thank you. Thank you, Keith. I mean, there was another story in the Star Tribune today about the incredibly high rate of failure on behind the road driver's tests. We may talk about that tomorrow. It's pretty interesting why there's so many people failing the driver's test. And it's maybe not what you would expect, the reason. Let's break in a minute. Parents, as you're starting to stress out about back to school shopping, there is a startup business here in Minnesota that has a hack to make this so much easier. I think it's brilliant. I wish it were around when my kids were checking off the list. We'll talk about that when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
Instacart is acquiring an Israeli computer vision company to help its shoppers improve their accuracy when filling customer orders. The Financial Times reports that Instacart is acquiring Arpalis, which has developed technology that allows quick video scans of store shelves to identify individual items with more than 95% accuracy, overcoming low Wi-Fi and thousands of visually similar products. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
On my recent vacation to Mexico City, I got ready for that vacation by going to JH & Sons. It's Jason. I've posted a lot of pictures from my trip to Mexico on my Facebook page. Just search Jason DeRusha, and you'll see the sort of capsule outfit that I put together with the help of the team at JH & Sons. And that is the JH & Sons difference. It's at the Galleria in Edina. The Halberstadt family has been helping men look amazing in Minnesota for more than 50 years. Jeff Halberstadt and his sons are carrying on the tradition of quality service, incredible service, but they're doing it with an eye to today and to the future. So if you're getting ready for back to work, back to office, if you're getting ready for a wedding or a special event in the fall, yeah, you got to go to JH & Sons. Check out their amazing selection of suits. Unreal. But if you're just looking to up your game for date night or going on a vacation like I was and you want to have kind of a fresh look, depending on your destination, they can help that come together as well. Go see Chuck. Go see Bryce. Go see Alicia. Go see the team at JH & Sons. They're going to make you feel amazing. Make sure you tell them that you hear me talking about them on CCO. And you can sign up for their VIP email list. Do it at jhandsons.com.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years, but I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw & Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents?
Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Traffic is brought to you by Lyuna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. 94 eastbound has a crash in St. Paul at Dale Street and Kellogg Boulevard. That backup starts at Lexington. 94 westbound is locked up starting at 280 all the way to the tunnel. And if you're headed to the airport, 494 starts slowing at East Bush Lake Road. Hope you built in some time for that one. Lyuna, Minnesota reminds you to slow down when you see orange cones and yellow vests all year round. They're working to improve your infrastructure and build a better Minnesota for you. So please slow down, save lives, and keep construction workers safe. Brought to you by Lyuna, Minnesota. Visit buildthenorth.com. That's traffic. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
It is hot, and it's going to be hot for the next couple of days still. Here is Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
A quiet night tonight with a partly cloudy sky as we drop back to 72. Still a little muggy. It's going to be warm and borderline humid again tomorrow with a high around 93. For most of us, a partly cloudy sky. There will be a few pop-up showers here and there. Many will stay dry. Thursday, a better chance of rain moving from west to east. Should arrive late and spill into Friday.
St. Louis Park, it is 88 degrees, feels like 92. It is fairly humid out there still on CCO.
Your daily detour into sharper conversation. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Known you for ages, it's all that I've heard. My friends are in love.
I have to confess, having college kids this time of year, I do sort of miss that school supply experience. Yeah, there's something about like the excitement of getting ready for the school year, talking to your kids about what you need to buy. For me, I liked going to the store with the kids, but more and more parents are just so busy, so overwhelmed. I look at like my sister-in-law who has a grade school and a middle schooler and two parents who work, and they don't have the time or the energy to go chasing down the correct, set of crayons and the 47 different colored line notebooks. And from the frustration or the challenge of that process comes innovation with a company called IMPACKS. IMPACKS, founded by a couple in just outside of St. Cloud in Wade Park, Minnesota. Clare Richards is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline to talk about her innovative business that is so timely right now. Claire, it's good to have you on.
Hi there. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. So tell me what made you realize there's got to be a better way for this?
So my husband and I, my co-founder, we actually both worked at Office Max back in college. And so we saw firsthand how many parents just have such a frustrating experience with back to school shopping. And, it's not like when we were kids. It's so much lengthier. The lists are so much lengthier, so much more expensive. The teachers really don't want you to bring in the fun supplies that are, easy for kids to pick out. They want you to stick to the list. And so we thought, okay, well, why don't we make it really easy for parents and make it fun for kids in a different way?
Explain how your business works. How's it work?
Absolutely. So for the last 6 years, we have partnered with schools in Minnesota, but across the country as well, to give parents a way to buy school supply kits online that are customized to that school's school supply list. And it works really, really well, but your school has to partner with us in order for the parents to order from us. And so we've changed that this year with a new tool called the Kit Genie that allows any parent to take a photo of their school supply list, and the Kit Genie compiles that list in just a few minutes, and you can check out with a customized kit. Super easy.
I'm looking at it on the website right now, and you can just Google IMPACKS, IMPACKS. It's myimpacks.com to get to the website. But yeah, you take a picture on your cell phone, and there it is. And then so you just process that, and that's it.
Yeah, so it uses a cool technology that reads the list, no matter how the list is presented, because we know that's a big challenge. Every teacher puts together their list in a different way.
Right.
Some have different file types and lots of different requirements. And we are able to take all of the knowledge we've built over the last 6 years of working with schools to know what teachers are asking for.
Huh.
So they might just say markers on the list, but we know that they really want washable Crayola 10 count markers, right? So we
sure.
take that knowledge and infuse it into this particular technology.
Yeah, I'm looking at just like a suburban Twin Cities 5th grade list right now. And it does look, it's a little bit like a pain in the butt, right? It's like 4 pocket folders, 1 blue, 1 red, 1 green, 1 yellow, 4 wide line notebooks, 1 blue, 1 green, 1 red, 1 yellow. And I remember one year, you know, because around the country, people are doing back to school shopping earlier and earlier, and many states start way before us. Like, we couldn't find the colors. We couldn't find the stuff. We were going from Target to Target trying to find this. And I tell you, like, if I had a service like yours, where you could just take a picture, upload it, and be done, you think, like, how cool is this?
Yeah, and you know, I think we all have those nostalgic memories of shopping for school supplies. But what's nostalgic is buying the 64 count crayons or the sparkly notebook.
The Trapper Keeper. I miss the Trapper Keeper.
The teachers want you to stick to the list, though, and so some of those sparkly, shiny stuff, they really don't want you to bring that into the classroom. And so I think parents are starting to shift that focus to the things that kids can truly customize, right? So their shoes, their clothes, their backpack. And we're very happy to take care of the boring parts, finding that very specific folder. I agree. It can be really painful.
So now when you guys do this and on your website, people, you can search for a school that you partner with, but it's, being able to upload it is pretty cool. Is it still like, are the prices still good? You know what I'm saying? I think you worry like, oh, I would pay a little bit for this convenience for sure, but like, I don't want to, back to school shopping is expensive enough as it is.
Oh, totally. And we've spent a lot of time trying to do everything in our power to pass on all of the savings we get through buying wholesale to the parents. I would say our pricing, even with the shipping and the convenience, is right on par with what you would otherwise be paying at Target, for example. So it's right on par, but you save a lot of time and it gets shipped right to your home.
Allie Kaplan wrote about you in her newsletter in the Star Tribune today. And I was struck by the fact that she wrote that you guys sold your house in order to finance this dream. That's amazing.
Yeah, we've done the whole startup thing. We started in our basement, my husband and I, and really early on, we needed some capital to get the business rolling. So we sold our house and we, basically drained our savings to make this thing happen. And as any founder and business owner will tell you, those moments can be high risk and kind of painful, but we have a really big vision. We think that school supply shopping and back to school and supporting students is important, and it should be easier. Like, parents should have an easier time doing what should be a rudimentary task. And so we think that this is the right solution, and we really believe in that vision.
I think it's so smart. It's so smart, and it addresses a major friction point. And I'm just so excited for you guys and to see this launched here in Minnesota. I know you've raised some venture capital investment money as well. And you think about AI and the advancements in machine learning and being able to sort of scan and understand these lists. It's all pretty exciting stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I see this as like a really positive use for AI technology to make lives easier. And it certainly helps our team reach more people. Like, if we didn't have this technology, we would never be able to help individual parents. We will always continue to partner with schools. We love our school partnerships, but this really just allows us to reach a much broader audience.
Pretty good stuff. Clare Richards, who founded Impact along with her husband, Brandon, getting it done right outside St. Cloud in Waite Park. Congratulations, Clare. And something I'm sure a lot of parents are going to want to check out tonight. If you're thinking about, you're on the drive home, you're like, maybe I won't go from store to store and I'll upload the thing to IMPACKS. Pretty cool. Thanks, Clare.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And if it's easier for everybody to remember, you can also get to the tool by going to thekitgenie.com. Super easy.
Perfect. Thekitgenie.com. There it is. Excellent. Clare Richards, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Pretty cool. I like school shopping. I like doing the supply shopping, but I also like going to the store. And I feel like that's sort of a minority opinion out there. People are busy. They don't want to do it. Everything gets delivered. And if you could do this instead of searching through Amazon and trying to find all that out, makes nothing but sense. It is 5:45. Drive time. Going to take a break. In a minute, are you voting in the primary? I have never voted in a primary before. We'll talk about that in just a minute.
Drive time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Let's sell your house the easiest way possible. It's Jason, and the easy pass to selling your house and getting cash money is Chris Lindahl. Arms wide out. Do the Lindahl. Don't be ashamed. Why not? Chris Lindahl, Minnesotan, one of us, grew up here, grew his business here, wants to solve a real pain in the neck for so many people. Selling a home used to be an exciting moment, right? I built my life here. This is my biggest investment. I'm going to cash in. Today, it's a pain in the butt. Right now, buyers are in control. If you're a seller, your house better be perfect. It better be in the right neighborhood. It better have the right layout, the right garage, the up-to-date this, the correct color that, on and on and on. More and more Minnesotans are saying to heck with it. I want to be done. And I'm going to give all the stress and all the pressure and all the drama to Chris Lindahl. The guaranteed cash offer and the big red check is what Chris is delivering to more and more Minnesotans, not necessarily people who are in a job change situation, divorce, death in the family, whatever, some reason where you might want to sell a house as is quickly. More people who are just normally would be on the open market are saying to heck with it. So why not? See if it makes sense for you. ChrisLindahl.com. Free smart seller guide right at the top of the page. That's Chris, K-R-I-S, Lindahl.com.
Everybody leaves too early. The movie.
Wait, where are you going? There's totally an after credit scene.
The concert.
Thank you, Twin Cities!
Want to beat the traffic?
Totally.
Please welcome our secret headliner.
The ball game.
Good call leaving early. Nothing ever happens in the ninth.
A walk-off grand slam! And everyone still in the stadium wins a free snowmobile!
Just keep walking.
Don't make the same mistake. Stay here for the rest of the conversation. Right after a couple of quick ads. You'll thank me later. News Talk 830 WCCO.
At Wealth Enhancement, we believe wealth is in the details. Our team of trusted advisors craft personalized solutions to help you achieve your financial goals. Tune in to the Your Money Show on News Talk 830 WCCO every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. or go to wealthenhancement.com to connect with one of our advisors.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver, a board-certified OBGYN and menopause specialist. My new podcast, Unpaused, is the place for bold, unfiltered conversations about what it really takes for women to thrive in the second half of life. Every week, I sit down with medical experts, cultural icons, and powerhouse women to talk about what really matters. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Listen to and follow Unpaused with me, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Highway 36 eastbound, they are still working on a crash near Edgerton Street over in Maplewood. If you're headed north on Highway 100, things are jammed up from the crosstown all the way up to Highway 55. Highway 61 northbound, we have some debris on the road right around 694. That's in Badness Heights. 94 eastbound, a crash between Hennepin and 3rd Avenue in Minneapolis. So plan some extra time if you're headed that way. Let's look at the roads. I'm Derek Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
From the streets of New York to the cafes of Havana, Guys and Dolls is a high-rolling Tony Award-winning musical spectacular. I'll wager you're gonna love it and get a good bang for your buck. Guys and Dolls at Chanhassen Dinner Theaters. Snag those tickets. Visit chanhassendp.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast brought to you by Chanhassen Dinner Theater. Guys and Dolls on stage right now. chanhassendp.com to get your tickets tonight. Partly cloudy, going to the Twins game. It'll be hot. The low 72. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and humid. High of 93. Isolated showers possible. Average high, by the way, is 83. Next chance for rain and a big weather change on Friday. But just that one day, then back to the heat over the weekend. Right now, it's 89 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
I think that's a recipe for chaos.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Well, I was going to talk about the primary election. We're 2 weeks away from Election Day. Many people already voting. But there's some breaking news that just came in from the Minnesota Star Tribune that I want to talk about. So if you want to hear my thoughts on primary day, check out the podcast. That was hour 1. We talked about me never voting in a primary before. So here's the breaking news. Headline, Star Tribune. St. Paul investigates sexual harassment allegations against Mayor Kali Her that involves police chief and officers. And the story goes into a bit of detail, not a ton, as to what the exact accusations are. But the city has hired an outside law firm to investigate sexual harassment allegations against the mayor, including claims that she directed inappropriate sexual comments towards the police chief and towards other city employees. The chief's attorney is Chris Madel. So this is a notification of a formal complaint, which starts the path of saying, like, hey, now we're going to subpoena all of the text messages. The chief, according to this letter that was sent to the St. Paul City attorney, it says the mayor's conduct has extended beyond isolated incidents and included sexual harassment of subordinate city employees, including members of the police department. He named himself as the complainant, not only seeking to address the wrongdoing, but also create a measure of protection for his team. The mayor's spokesperson wouldn't comment on the investigation, other than saying the mayor has deep respect for city employees and regrets any unintended impact her action may have had. We'll, of course, be following this. Our newsroom will follow this tonight and tomorrow morning. But there's a difference between an accusation at this level and then a formal lawsuit. But it is the first step in that process. And frankly, disappointing, right? I mean, I think the new mayor of St. Paul, there's been a lot of optimism about the fact that, you know, you have a greater energy around downtown St. Paul. You have an energy around cleaning things up when it comes to crime. They're literally cleaning up the homeless encampment. But When you're the mayor, you don't get to send like winky, sexualized text messages. Nobody should be doing that. It's 2026. It's not 1976. And if these accusations are true, and it seems there's text messages and evidence of this stuff, it's upsetting. And I expect a full investigation, and the city needs to be transparent about this. But can't have that. Can't have that. And for the chief to be willing to put his name on that, knowing that like the chief and the mayor has been working together, I mean, to me, that says a lot. Like, I have a lot of respect for St. Paul's Police Chief Axel Henry. And for him to put himself out there like that, he didn't have to do that. Now, the Star Tribune reporting indicates that there was some conduct and some sort of sexualized communications from the mayor directed at the chief. I mean, honestly, for me, if the mayor of St. Paul is directing sexualized comment to the police chief, that should be it. That should be it. And I don't know how should she resign? I don't want to go too far with this, since we're just at phase one of an accusation. But if indeed the mayor had unwanted text messages, and certainly if there was unwanted physical contact, I don't know. I'm out then, you know. More on this to come. Just breaking in the Star Tribune. Another reason why you should subscribe. Just saying. That story coming out just within the last couple minutes. We are sending you to Twins pregame. Twins at home against Kansas City. Going to be a beautiful summer night at the old ballpark. Continental Diamond. Happy to bring you the time check, 5:57. Always a good time to check out the incredible selection. There's a flash sale, too, at ContinentalDiamond.com.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group.